Hi, my name is Nico Jake Villamera, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to solve the three operations in arithmetic operation modulo n: the addition, the subtraction, the multiplication. So, arithmetic operation modulo n is basically the remainders of a division. So, why do we study this arithmetic operation modulo n? So, we basically studied this in order to determine the remainder of a division, to determine the time, and determine the date without using the calendar. So, then let's begin. So, arithmetic operation modulo n. So, what is arithmetic operation modulo n? So, for a positive integer n, two integers a and b are said to be congruent modulo n. If a and b have the same remainder divided by n, or if equivalently, if a minus b is divisible by n, it can be expressed as a triple bar b mod n, and the n is called modulus. So, what are integers? Integers are whole numbers that is not fraction and decimal. So, integers are the three types of it. So, the zero, the negative integers, and the positive integers. Negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1 are negatives integers. 0 itself is an integer, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is positive integers. Fractions such as 3/4, 1/2, and 1/4 are not integers, and decimals such as 0.30, 3.14, and 1.23 are not integers. So, let's proceed with the addition modulo n. So, the first example is that John and Amy have 27 and 40 apples each, and if they all add their apples and decided to give it equally to 8 people, how many is the surplus? So, the given you get here is that 27 and 40, and the mode is 8, the 8 people. And first step is to add the apples. So, 27 plus 40 is equals to 67. If you get the 67, then you must divide it with the mode. So, 67 divided by 8 is 8.375. Like we said earlier, we only use the integers, so we must use the whole number. So, we'll only get 8 here. And then, 8 is multiplied by the mode. So, 8 multiplied by mode, the 8. 8 times 8 is equals to 64. Then the next step is that the 67 minus the 64, and you will get the answer 3, and that is the surplus. So, the answer for this example is that 3 apples will be the surplus. So, for the next example is that Leonard and Penny each have 38 and 74 candies, and they decided to gather it up and give it to 9 children, trick or treating. How many candies will be left? So, the A and B here is 38 and 74, and the mode is 9. So, like earlier, we must add the A and B. So, 38 plus 74 is equals to 112. So, 112 divided by 9. So, the answer is 12.444. Since, like earlier, it must be needed to be whole numbers. So, we will only get 12s. And then, the next step is that 12 multiplied by the mode. So, 12 multiplied by the mode is equals to 108. Then, 112 minus 108 is equals 4. And that is the answer. So, the answer is that 4 candies are left. Remember, the answer must be lower, always lower or equal than the mode. Example number 3 for the addition modulo n. So, the army and the police force have 128 and 160 people each that are in charge of public safety, and they decide to group themselves by 15 each group to protect a certain place. How many people will be not included in the group? So, A plus B equals 128 plus 160 is equals to 288, and divided by mode 15, and the answer is that 19.2. We'll only use the 19, and then the 19 multiplied by the mode 15, so the answer is 285. 288 minus 285 is equals to 3, and the answer for this question is that 3 people are left without group. The final example for the addition modulo n is that if November and December have 30 and 31 days respectively, if November 1 is the first day of the week, how many days of December are there in the last week? So the A and B here is the 30 and 31. So the mode here is 7 since there are 7 days in a week. So 30 plus 31 is equals 61, and divided by mode 7 is equals to 8.7. Again, only 8 will be used. So 8 multiplied by the mode 8 times 7 is equals to 56. Then 61 minus 56 is equals to 5. So 5 days are left in the last week of December will be the answer. So let's begin or start with the subtraction modulo n. So the first question is that 63 minus 40 and the mode is 8. So 63 minus 40, you will get the answer 23, and then you divide it by the mode, and the mode is 8. So 23 minus 8 divided by 8, and you'll get the answer 2.875. And again, same here, we will only use integers or the whole number. So you will get the answer 2. So then 2 multiplied by the mode, so 2 times 8 is equals to 16. Then here it's different, so 23 minus 16 is equals to 7. So for the second example is that 33 minus 37 and the mode is 6. Since in this case our subtrahend is much bigger than the minuend, so the answer we'll get here is negative. So 33 minus 37 is equals to negative 4. Since we can't use the negative 4 since the answer here is always positive, so we'll get the x for that. So let's proceed. So negative 4 minus x over 6 is equals to negative, open parenthesis, 4 plus x, close parenthesis, over 6. And since we don't know the answer for the x, so let's substitute it with the equal or the less than the mode. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is the equivalent of x. So for example here is that 2 is the perfect fit for the x. So we'll use the value of x as 2. So negative, open parenthesis, 4 plus 2, close parenthesis, over 6 is equals to negative 6 over 6. And the answer we'll get here is negative 1, since we can't use the negative 1 since we'll only use the positive answer, so that we'll add it with another 2. So the answer we'll get here is positive 1. So for this next example is the same as the previous one. The subtrahend is much bigger than the minuend. So the next problem is that 14 minus 27 and the mode is 5. So we'll get the answer negative 13, and we'll find the equivalent of x. So the mode is 5. So negative 13 plus open parenthesis 5, close parenthesis, times 3. So we'll get the 15 there. So negative 13 plus positive 15 is equals to positive 2, and that will be the answer. And the other solution or the other way to get this answer is 14 minus 27 mode 5 is equals to negative 13. So we'll add the value of the x, or the value of the x or mode 5. So negative 13 plus 5 is equals to negative 8. Then add again, negative 8 plus 5 is equals to negative 3. Then negative 3 plus 5 is equals to 2. We'll stop here, and if we get the lowest possible amount, of positive integer. And for the last example in the subtraction modulo n is that if you start watching a 15-minute long episode in a TV show at 8:42 p.m., what time will it be when the episode is over? So, the given here is 8:42 p.m. and 57 minutes. So, in an hour, there are 60 minutes. So, 60 minus 57 is equals to 3. Then, 8:42 minus 3 is equals to 8:39. So, then 8:39 plus 60 minutes or 1 hour is equals to 9:39, and that will be the answer. The answer is it will be 9:39 p.m. when the episode is over. So let's begin with the last operation in modulo n, the multiplication modulo n. So the example here is that there are 81 groups of 21 students. When we regroup all of the students so that each group has 5 members, how many students will be left without a group? So the given here is A is 81, B is 21, and the mode here is 5. So multiplied 81 multiplied by 21 is equals to 1,701, and divided by the mode 5, and we'll get the answer 340.2, and we'll only use the whole number, so 340. So 340 multiplied by 5 is equals to 1,700. Then let's proceed with 1,701 minus 1,700, and the answer is 1, and that will be the student who don't have a group, and that is the answer. So for the second example is that what is the remainder when 2 raised to the power of 4 is multiplied by 5 raised to the power of 2 is divided by 3. So the given is 2 raised to the power of 4 times 5 raised to the power of 2, and the mode is 3. So 2 raised to the power of 4 is equals to 16, and 5 raised to the power of 2 is 25. So 16 times 25 is 400, and the mode is 3. So 400 divided by 3 is equals to 133.3333. Repeating. So we'll only use the 133. 133 then times 2 multiplied to 3 is equals to 399. 400 minus 339 is equals to 1, and that will be the remainder. And that will be all. Thank you. Leave a like and subscribe.